What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and like many of you all, I just got done watching the Kevin Federline interview. And what in the hell was the big deal about? There was literally nothing in that interview for people to freak out over. Honestly, I am kind of disappointed. I was looking forward to this interview. I sat down, I was like, today's the day. I had it all planned out. I figured I would have to make multiple videos about what was within the interview, but there was literally nothing. There was no bashes of Britney Spears. In fact, everyone was really nice in the interview. No one threw shade at her at all. And even in the interview, they referred to Kevin Federline as a love rat, a love rat, and random stuff like that. So I felt like this was a very, very fair interview. But Britney's fans have been freaking out for weeks over this. And I think it's because they don't want there to be a fair interview. They don't want anyone else to be able to express themselves the way Britney has expressed herself. I don't see anything wrong with anything Kevin Federline said. And listen, I'm not a K-Fed fan. I am not Team Kevin Federline. I don't care about the guy at all. But what was so bad about this interview? They basically went over how Britney had her little public meltdown back in the day. And Kevin Federline didn't even really go over that. Just within the interview, there was about maybe 5 minutes of Kevin Federline talking. And maybe, I would say give or take, 30 to 45 seconds of one of Britney's kids, just one, of them basically explaining why they didn't go to her wedding. So there was nothing within this interview. I was fully prepared to sit down and pick this interview apart, go over different things that were said, but there's really nothing to talk about here. And yeah, I am disappointed. I know that they definitely edited this interview, because the interviewers, the journalists who were there talking to Kevin Federline, they spent like a couple of weeks with the family. And the fact that all they got was about 8 minutes of footage in this interview, there's a lot of stuff cut out. I believe they cut some stuff out because they were getting pressured by Britney's fan base. But it just goes to show how much these people were freaking out over nothing. I want you to watch the interview for yourself. Don't take my word for it. But while you're watching that interview, I want you to remember that Britney's fan base attacked Britney's kids over this interview. So they thought that just because Britney's kid was like, hey, I didn't go to Britney's wedding because no one else in my family was invited, they thought that was a good enough reason to get their pitchforks and their torches ready to attack 15 and 16-year-olds online. And that's what's been happening for weeks now. Britney's kids already came out and said that they don't feel safe anymore because they've been getting threats from Britney's fans. And when I watch this interview, I can't help but feel like, what is this all for? There was nothing really negative about Britney in the interview. Kevin Federline basically talked about how he's been handling the situation with the kids and how he wants the kids to live a normal life. And that's basically all that was said. He says that he feels bad for Britney. Yes, he did say that he thinks that Britney's father saved her life at one point. There's some things said that maybe make you like, I don't agree with that, but there was no bashing of Britney. There was no revealing of secrets against Britney. Britney's kids didn't, reveal all type of mean stuff that she's done. They basically was like, yeah, I'm happy for her that she got married, but if the family's not invited, I don't feel comfortable going. And that was basically all there was to it. All there was to it. They don't want to see their mom right now because of what she's been doing on Instagram. And I don't blame them, especially now after she's been lashing out at them on Instagram repeatedly. Now, I was planning on making a video all about this interview, but like I said, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to pick apart. There's nothing to go over. It was a big nothing burger that people freaked out about for no reason because they don't want anyone speaking about Britney but Britney. They don't want anyone to be able to see the other side of the picture. They don't want someone to tell you the other side of the story because if they do, it makes Britney look bad. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Why the hell would people freak out over this? But Britney herself has been lashing out at her kids. And I find that horrible, especially now. You know, when she originally lashed out at her kids, I thought that was horrible as well. But after watching this interview, it's like, lady, you're coming out and basically calling your sons idiots that can't read and random stuff like that, all because what? They didn't feel comfortable going to your wedding without any other family members there? They don't feel comfortable with you posting your butt cheeks spread wide open, you know, on Instagram while you're at a wellness center? But Britney posted this new post. This post actually came before the interview. But man, it's just really sad now after watching this interview and seeing what this woman, Britney, has done to her kids. Let's read the caption. Geez, see, it hits me later. The fact that I'm doing a song with Elton makes me want to freaking cry. He's me and my mother's favorite musician. I listened to driving hours to dance class from 8 to 14. See again? What the F? Wow, what an honor to be with such gifted hands. We already know. My son might give him a run for his money. I have so much footage of him playing. Yep, my kids are freaking geniuses. It's kind of scary. He stopped seeing me. I posted something of him, but he got really mad, so unfortunately, I haven't been able to post my loving family. Either way, I'm so sorry, kids. I continue to do social media. I'm sorry you feel I do it for attention. I'm sorry for the way you feel, but guess what? I got news for you. I'm a child of God as well. And we all are. I am a child of God as well. We all are in God's eyes. So nope, I'm not sorry. I've learned to say so. All right. I know that there has been some disagreements between me and a lot of people over these weird swaying side-to-side videos and these naked posts from Britney. I've made it clear 1,000 times until I'm blue in the face, literally, that it's not about the fact that they're nude photos. It's not like I'm so taken aback by seeing a naked woman. It's the manner in which the photos are taken. It's how unhappy Britney looks in the moment. There's so many things that are off about the photos that most normal people can look at and be like, oh, this looks awkward. I find it funny that literally everyone finds what Britney does on Instagram awkward, except for her most diehard fans. And even some of them are in my Instagram DMs like, hey, I don't want to say nothing out loud, but Britney's crazy as hell. Yeah, so anyway, the kids have made it clear that they don't want Britney, they're not comfortable with Britney doing all this stuff on Instagram. So what does Britney do? Britney posts herself walking around with her boobs out. Mind you, they're covered by her extensions. Her hair doesn't look that great either. She's walking around with her boobs out and captions that video with a caption basically talking crap to her kids. Yeah, like she points out, oh, they're geniuses. They're good at piano. God damn those kids. Like for real, this is really, really spiteful. This is hurtful coming from a parent. Britney is one of those psychotic moms you see on TV. And some of y'all had moms like Britney. And I feel bad for anyone who had a mom like Britney, if you want me to be honest. Because I've seen it before. They could be as sweet as you want them to be. But then they'll snap and they'll put you down and they'll ruin your self-confidence. And they'll say hurtful, mean, off the wall things to you and then expect you to come hugging them and loving them 2 minutes later. That's who Britney is. She's a narcissistic psychopath parent. At least that's how she's acting on Instagram. So knowing that your kids have a problem with you being nude on Instagram, your reply to that is uploading a naked video of you walking around on Instagram while basically in the caption of that video saying, hey, I'm not sorry. I'm going to do what I want, sons. I am a child of God just like you. That's not crazy to y'all? No. Don't click away now. Don't shy away from the conversation now. I am talking directly to the people who have been making excuses for Britney's actions. What excuse do you have for this? A mother publicly beefing with her own kids and using her naked body to combat her kids publicly? Make no mistake about it, that's what this was. This was a move out of spite. It's kind of like when you break up with a girlfriend and she goes and posts those risque photos on Facebook or Instagram to kind of get you jealous. That's kind of like what this is. It's a mother who finds out that her kids are going through something because their mother's always naked on Instagram. And she's like, well, guess what? Sorry, not sorry, never gonna be sorry. Here's my tits and here's me swaying around side to side and here's my butt cheeks. How is this normal? How is this okay? This type of stuff, it makes me feel some type of way because I could not imagine being these kids right now. Your mother is publicly attacking you in front of her vast fan base. Millions of people are seeing your mom take her tits out and talk shit about her own kids. And not just that, her fan base cheers it on. People have been going around like, oh, sick burn. Britney really showed them this time. These are 15 and 16-year-old kids. Oh, Britney gets to win again. They're acting like this is a rap beef. Like two popular rappers are beefing back and forth. No, it is a 40-something-year-old woman beefing with her 15-year-old kid because he's tired of seeing her butt naked on Instagram. And her response to that is, well, guess what? F you, here's my tits. Here's me walking around naked again. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep doing it. Ha 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 ha. It's like it's taunting them. A mother is taunting her own kids with naked photos and videos of herself. That is sick, twisted, and disgusting. And this is going to have a lasting effect on her kids. She is traumatizing her kids. I don't care what any of you say. If you feel some type of way about it, sorry. Britney is traumatizing her kids. It's one thing to post these videos and to just post them. But when you post this video with this caption and you know that this video is a direct response to your kids, that is sick. This post, don't make no mistake about it. Yeah, she was rambling on for a second because Britney can't form clear thoughts. So 1 second is, oh, hold me closer. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, my son, Kim. Yeah, God, my son. It's like she wanted to start talking about her song, but then it all just melted down into trashing her kids again. The post started out great. Here's me naked. Oh, God, I got this new song out. Elton John's cool. Me and my mom liked Elton John. My kid can play piano. Goddamn kids. I am never going to stop getting naked on Instagram. I don't care what y'all say. Here's me spinning in circles with my butt cheeks out. Holy shit. This is like some horror movie type stuff. I love movies. I have always loved movies. My dream is one day to make a movie. And I'm going to let y'all in on a little hint right here. are a little spoiler alert. Within this book is an independent horror movie that I've been writing, loosely based on how Britney Spears acts on Instagram. Maybe one day you'll see that movie, maybe it will never get made. But man, I am getting so much inspiration from how crazy she acts. It is like next level horror movie type stuff. And to be a 15-year-old kid and to get on Instagram and see your mom talking crap about you while walking around naked, that just is... I can't imagine the psychological effect that has on a young person's brain. Really think about it. I don't care how big of a fan you are of Britney. Put yourself in their shoes. And stop all this nonsense about, well, they went to the tabloids and they talked to some people and they did an interview. We all watched the interview. There's nothing to it. Stop trying to use that as an excuse for Britney's actions. The difference between Britney and Britney's kids is Britney has this large public platform. So when Britney talks crap about people, it gets more views than any news website or 60 Minutes television show you could think of. Every time Britney does anything, it falls upon more eyes than most stuff that's out there in this world. So when Britney's sons or Britney's ex-husband, if they want to get their voice heard, to combat or to rival or to go against Britney's narrative, then they have no choice but to go to the media because they don't have large platforms like Britney. And I can tell you that when you're just a regular person or a smaller person with not as much outreach, it feels like what you're saying falls on deaf ears when you're going up against someone who has millions upon millions upon millions of people hanging on to their every word. So I don't blame them for doing this interview. Everyone could sit here and act like it was in bad taste. We watched the interview now. There was nothing to it. Everyone freaked out for no reason. And we're all going to forget this interview soon. But you know what we're not going to forget? And you know what Britney's kids aren't going to forget? They're not going to forget the time that their mother whipped her tits out, showed her ass cheeks, while talking crap about them in front of millions of people. They will remember that till the day they die. I am disgusted by this. I don't know how much longer I could go on covering this person anymore, because I started covering this story with so much sympathy for Britney, and after this, I don't have any left at all. And I am totally disappointed in a lot of how she acts. And I feel completely horrible for her kids, honestly. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'm sure we'll disagree about a lot of this, and that's okay. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.